Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. If you are here for the first time, my name is Bre Jahmella and I welcome you to my channel. This channel is everything beauty, lifestyle, fashion, advice, and so much more. If that's something that you're interested in, please make sure that you press that subscribe button. I promise you I will not disappoint. If you guys are a subscriber, guys, thank you so much for coming back to yet another video. Thank you for supporting my channel. It is greatly appreciated. As you can see from today's title, we are doing an advice video, and this is my 5 fave financial tips. Just some tips that help me stay on top of my game throughout the year, and I want to share them with you guys. If that's something that you're interested in, please make sure that you Okay guys, so my first fave financial tip would have to be paying myself first. Now, I read this originally in Rich Dad Poor Dad, and if you haven't read that book by, I forgot what his name is, something Kawasaki, forgot his first name, but if you haven't read that book, please make sure that you read the book Rich Dad Poor Dad. I thought it was a really good book. I read it years ago, like I think I read that book like 2017. But ever since I read that book, I didn't implement it in the beginning. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not gonna sit here and, you know, fake the funk and pretend like I did. I did not implement it in the beginning, but I actually have started implementing it within the past year, and I realized how beneficial it has been towards me. And the first thing I would have to say is pay myself first. Now, once I get paid, the first thing I do is pay me. I don't pay my car note, my car insurance, my phone bill. Pay me, not even my rent. Pay me. I get paid first. Okay, that is the first thing that I do. You can take out however much you want. You can start with 10%, 20, 30, whatever the case may be, depending on your financial status. Make sure you stay to that number though, okay? And if at the end of the month you want to put a little bit more, be my guest. But what I would say is always pay yourself first. Stick to that percentage. The percentage that you agree on to pay is what you pay yourself every single time you get paid. And like I said, if you have more left over at the end of the month, then you can add more to whatever, you know, whatever you're saving or whatever. But I'm telling you, the pay yourself first method is top tier. And when I say pay yourself first, you're putting away that money. It doesn't exist anymore. So once I put that money away, it doesn't exist until I'm ready to take it out and, you know, do stocks or investments or, you know, add to my life insurance or whatever the case may be. That's when you take that money out. You don't touch it no other reason for no other reason, okay? It no longer exists. So paying yourself first has so much more benefits. Trust me, paying yourself first is worth it. So if you not the type of person to take out your money first and you pay everybody else first and then you have pennies left over, that's why. Pay yourself first. They could wait. Okay guys, my second favorite thing to do would have to be when it comes to credit. I love doing the 1st and the 15th. So I realize even if the bill is not due on the 1st, I will pay it on the 1st. Even if it's due even after the 15th, I will pay it on the 1st, right? Then you owe it to pay on the 15th. So if the bill is due on the 15th, say for example I have a bill that's due on the 15th, I would have paid on the 1st and I will pay again on the 15th. Because why? By the time the credit bureau kind of does the report, it would look like you paid twice. You would have paid twice, but it looks, I forgot how they describe it. It looks different on the credit report, okay? So it allows your points to go up. And I've actually noticed this when I've been doing it with my credit cards, even though like I try my best to have like 0 balance, but I realize you're not supposed to have 0 balance on your credit cards. You're supposed to have, even if it's a little bit of something. So I've been trying to, like, you know, buy little things here and there and then pay it off, because that's the point of credit. You have to keep building it. You can't just, you know, have a credit card and wipe it all off. No, like I'll probably, not saying max it out, but I'll pay 30% on it, and then you say, all right, 30% is what you charge it to, because you're not supposed to go over 30%. So 30% is what you charge on the card, and I say, all right, I'm gonna knock off all of it except for like $50. You get what I'm trying to say? Because why? It looks good to them that you were responsible, you were disciplined, you're basically beating the system. You get what I'm trying to say? And that's the point. You have to know how to work the system when it comes to credit, because credit is one of the hardest things to build. I think people don't understand that. it's easier to get money. Like, it's crazy. It's easier to get money than to build credit. Like, credit is one of the hardest things to build. One little major minor setback, your credit goes like down. Like, you know what I mean? So it's like, building credit is super huge. I really recommend that you guys like pay attention to paying on the 1st and 15th, and make sure you're just not going above 30% when you are swiping those cards. And if you have to go above the 30%, try your best to like at least get it down to the 30% as quick as possible. Just, you know, it's a responsible thing, like, you know, and it just shows that you are responsible and you can handle it, and they raise your credit. Like, one thing about me, I got a Capital One card, I have a Saks card, which is under Capital One, I have a Apple card. Child, your girl got an Apple card. Sweet. It is not easy to get that card. Got an Apple card. Who else do I have? I have a Sephora Universal card, which I didn't know was a Sephora. Child, when I signed up for the card, I thought it was a regular store card. Nah, I could actually buy stuff outside, and let's just say my credit limits, they out of pocket. Like, I'm not gonna lie, your girl could have a good time, but it's because I've learned to build good rapport. I've been able to, you know, show them that I'm responsible. I can manage the credit. Like, they're always raising my limit to the point where I just have to be like, why y'all keep raising it? Y'all want people to go into debt. But I like that they keep raising it, because it just shows that, you know, I'm becoming responsible. I am responsible. I can handle these type of credit limits. So remember that. My third financial tip for you guys would have to be, make sure you have a high yield savings account. Now, when it goes back to paying yourself first, how I pay myself is I add money to 2 separate accounts, right? And they're both high yield. So what I would do is split the money in half when I pay myself, excuse me, and I put them in 2 different high yield savings accounts for 2 different reasons. So one of them is an emergency fund, and one of them is just, it's just there until I can invest a certain amount of money, right? And I keep just taking, building, taking, building, taking, building, taking, building to invest, building to invest, building to invest. That's what it makes. That makes more sense. And the other high yield savings is literally just for saving. Like, it's for my emergency fund. Something happens and things hit the fan, I don't have to take it out of anywhere else. It just can come out of that one account. I would recommend a high yield savings account. They pay you. They pay you to hold your money, if that makes sense. So I just feel like, you know, never keep your money in a regular savings account. I did that for so many years, and I think I had a TD savings account. I think I still have it, but there ain't no money in it, so they don't close it because it's attached to a checking account. And I highly believe that they don't, I think they pay me like 5 cents for the month in a savings account. Like, I would just leave that right there. Even though I love TD, that's one of my favorite banks because they be on top of you when it comes to your money. I love that. But I would definitely say, make sure you have a high yield savings account. It took me a long time to really understand high yield savings. I would say there's so many YouTube videos on it. I would say watch those videos. They break it down so much better on how to work a high yield savings account, but I would definitely recommend getting a high yield savings account. It is important. Your money should not just sit there. That is not good. It's not good at all. And it took me a long time to learn that. But now you girl know better, so I'm giving you the information that I wish somebody had told me or taught me or just kind of like instilled in me so that I would know. But now that we know, we share advice. We do not gatekeep over here. So tip number 4 would definitely have to be investments. Now, one of my favorite tips when it comes to investment is picking out an investment bank. I personally agree with Fidelity. I feel like that's one of an amazing bank, and you can do it yourself, right? Where you can, you know, pick stocks and stock markets and pick different, you know, accounts you want to do. You have the I think it's SPF 500, where it's like different things where you could invest in. Like, I would highly recommend looking into Fidelity. There's multiple banks, but I feel like I like Fidelity personally on a personal level. Having that to do the investments, especially if you don't understand it that well, I would definitely recommend having a financial advisor. But they can break down how you use banks like Fidelity. You know what I mean? I feel like the older we're getting, I don't know, like I said, my channel is watched by many different ages, but I feel like the older you're getting, especially if once you're 18, I feel like you should be thinking about this, period, because you're not going to do anything but get older. And that's what life is. You're gonna keep getting older, the responsibilities are gonna keep building up, and you're gonna continue to have to know more and learn more. So investing is very imperative, and I feel like making sure your money doesn't just sit there is why you have investment accounts, why you have high yield savings accounts. So I would definitely recommend a tip, definitely look into having your investments put out. Even if you're putting in a small amount, it's something better than nothing. Like, please do that. It's important. And my last financial tip, guys, would have to be also, you know, a lot of money. It would be life insurance. Like, I know that most times people say if you do not have children, you shouldn't have it, or it's not that important if you don't have children. Guys, life insurance is very imperative. As somebody who used to work for life insurance, you're gonna, I'm a trick some more trade, child. I did a couple of things in my time. I said my time like I'm that old. Girl. But anyway, I feel like in somebody who has worked multiple jobs, insurance is one of the most interesting ones. You can actually borrow from your insurance fund. You know what I mean? You can do stuff like that if need be. You get what I'm saying? Obviously with penalties and depending on a contract, whatever the case may be. But your life insurance really is extremely beneficial, and I feel like a lot of people do not have one because they can't afford it. And as somebody who, you know, moved to Georgia, you know, that's what made me get life insurance myself, you know. And it was one of those things where I was like, wow, like, this actually is super beneficial. Like, it helps you long term. You can borrow from it. I've seen people pay their kids' school tuition through it. You get what I'm trying to say? So life insurance is really important. You have to find one that works for you. You have to find one that, you know, suits your needs. Of course, depending on where you are, it's more expensive or less expensive. I know if you're in the Georgia area, Atlanta area, it's pennies to pay life insurance a month time. Pennies. And you get good coverage. So I would say if that's something that you're not doing now, look into it. Start looking into it. Start, you know, paying attention to those things, the retirement funds, the 401ks. Like, make sure you're setting yourself up to succeed. And I feel like a lot of us, especially in the African American community, we are not taught these things. So we struggle through our 20s, we struggle through our 30s, some of us our 40s and our 50s and our 60s until we die. And I feel like, you know, at the age that I'm at, you know, being 31, I'm just like, I want to be so on top of my financial gain and what am I doing with my money and how my money is working for me, and not just, you know, making the money. You know, that's the point. I'm making the money, but what is my money doing for me? You know what I mean? And I feel like I want people on my channel and even throughout the world who may see this video to just understand, like, financial literacy is extremely important. Having, you know, extreme understanding of how money works, how money should work for you, what it is that you're doing with your money is extremely important. You know, having fun all the time is not worth it. Like, I know a lot of times, like, I would think of like, damn, all right, I want to do this, but I could invest it in that. So what I would say is, all right, instead of invest in just going out and splurging it, okay, I'm gonna take this, put some of that to the investment, and take a little bit and say, all right, I'm gonna spend that, but I'm gonna put away that. You know what I mean? And I feel like that's huge. So yeah, guys, thank you so much for tuning to yet another video. I appreciate you guys so much for stopping by. If you have any financial tips, things that you like to do, or things that you feel like people should look into, drop the comments below. Even things that you think a lot of people don't know about, drop them below. I'm always interested in learning and finding out new things because, child, we trying to get into the money, okay? No Beyonce, everybody mad. I was getting to the money. Everybody mad.